Let us continue reading this book by Uriah Smith, Daniel and Revelation, 1897. We are now on the second part of our reading. And before I share with you today's comments by Uriah Smith, let us seek the Lord in prayer. Father, thou art indeed in heaven. Thank you that you have blessed us and guided us to understand your word. Continue to pour out your spirit of truth as time will not linger furthermore. And I pray your people will be prepared in the name of your Son, through your Son, Jesus Christ. Amen. We are now reading his second point on this comment from Daniel 2, Daniel chapter 4, verses 4 to 18. Uriah Smith comments, number 2, the means by which God did this, what could strike with fear the heart of such a monarch as Nebuchadnezzar? He had been a warrior from his youth. With the perils of battle, the terrors of slaughter and carnage, he had often stood face to face, and his countenance had not blanched, nor his nerves trembled. And what should make him afraid now? No foe threatened, no hostile cloud was visible, as the most unlikely time was taken for him to be touched with fear. So the most unlikely means was selected by which to accomplish it. A dream, his own thoughts, and the visions of his own head were taken to teach him what nothing else could, a salutary lesson of dependence and humility. He who had terrified others, but whom no others could terrify, was made a terror of himself to himself. A still greater humiliation than that narrated in the second chapter was brought upon the magicians. There they boasted that if they only had a dream, they could make known the interpretation. Here, Nebuchadnezzar distinctly remembers the dream, but meets the mortification of having his magicians ignominiously fail him again. They could not make known the interpretation, and resort is again had to be to the prophet of God. Number 4. The remarkable illustration of the reign of Nebuchadnezzar. This is symbolized by a tree in the midst of the earth, Babylon, where Nebuchadnezzar reigned, was about in the center of the then known world. The tree reached into heaven, and the leaves thereof were fair. Its external glory and splendor were great. But this was not all of it. It is the case with too many kingdoms. It had eternal excellencies. Its fruit was much, and it had meat for all. The beasts of the field had shadow under it. The fowls of heaven dwelt in the boughs thereof, and all the flesh was fat of it. What could represent more plainly and forcibly the fact that Nebuchadnezzar ruled his kingdom in such a way as to afford the fullest protection, support, and prosperity to all his subjects? Really, to accomplish this is the perfection of earthly governments and the highest glory of any kingdom. Number 5. The mercy that God mingles with his judgment when order was given that this tree should be cut down. It was commanded that the stamp of the roots should be left in the earth and protected with a band of iron and brass. That is, that it might not be wholly given to decay, but that the source of future growth and greatness might be left. The day is coming when the wicked shall be cut down, and no such residue of hope be left them. No mercy will be mingled with their punishment. They shall be destroyed, both root and branch. Number 6, an important key to the prophetic interpretation in verse 16, let 7 times pass over him, said the decree. This is plain literal narration. Hence, the time here is to be understood literally. How long a period is denoted? This may be determined by ascertaining how long Nebuchadnezzar, in fulfillment of this prediction, was driven out to have his dwelling with the beasts of the field. And this, Josephus informs us, was 7 years. A time then denotes 1 year. When used in symbolic prophecy, it would of course denote symbolic or prophetic time. A time would then denote a prophetic year, or each day standing for a year, 360 literal days. There will be occasion to refer to this fact under chapter 7, verse 25. The interest that the holy ones, number 7, or the angels take in human affairs, they are represented as demanding this dealing with Nebuchadnezzar. They see as mortals never can see how unseemly a thing is pride in the human heart. and they approved of and sympathized with the decrees and providences of God by which he works for the correction of these evils. Man must know that he is not the architect of his own fortune, but that there is one who ruleth in the kingdom of men, on whom his dependence should be humbly placed. A man may be successful, may be a successful monarch, but he should not pride himself upon that. For unless the Lord had set him up, he would never have reached this position of honor. We will read the continuation next time from this book, and we will continue in page 89. May God our Father continue to bless you and his only begotten divine Son be gracious to you now and forevermore.